Welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith. Today we have a pair of 1 3/4 shafts that we're going to be working on, and we got them out here, and I'm going to run through a die check there, and we're going to show you our findings. We have a crack in one. I've already done a die check on this and gone through this, but I want to show you how we find cracks and then the process of helping the customer, so that at the end of the day, these two shafts are ready to assemble and put in the boat. All right, before I actually start on this die check here, I wanted to show you, this is the port shaft, and this was cut with a wheel cutter. For some reason, somebody came in here with an end mill, started right about there, and protruded to go this direction to the end here, and they stopped right here. Now this was sharp edge key left here, no blending or radiusing or smoothing in on this area right here. I just want to point that out before I actually start the die check here, and just some funky stuff. Okay, we got shafts have been cleaned, no debris, no seed growth, and the first step is, of course, spraying some dye on here. Alright, appropriate length of time is about 15 minutes. You want to let that dye soak into any possible cracks that may be in the shaft. Alright, we've waited long enough, and we're going to wipe off our excess dye here. You want to make sure that you're getting good results, so you know there's no race to this. That dye is not going to dry up or anything else, so you just take your time. In fact, we're going to do a real special cleaning in here because somebody did a real special machine job in here. This is what I mean. A little extra care. I've never well, I have done it a couple times before. Look at that. Even the dye on my fingers. I'm just trying not to get it so wet. You can't go soaking it, but you need to pick it up. You need to get in there. You just don't want any dye on the surface. You can even see how the dye is sticked right to the Q-tip there. And I'm going to spray the developer on here, which is a white powder, and as it dries, it draws the dye out of any cracks that are in there. This one here is going to show no cracks. I will zoom you in on this shaft over here. The developer goes on wet, and then as it dries, then it draws out the crack itself. Now you can see, I mean, that crack goes all the way down into here. It originated right here at the edge. That's where they all do. Once your prop is loose and it starts slamming the side of the keyway. Aquamint material is great material, but if it's mistreated, this is the results. With me cleaning this out with a Q-tip really good, you can really see how it followed in, and that really neat trick that guy did with an end mill really didn't help that situation too much. Well, there you have it. We found a crack in this shaft. This shaft is perfectly fine. we're going to go ahead and we've already checked this shaft for run out. It had none, so there's of course no charge for straightening because there's no straightening needed. The thing is running really good. This one here we're going to go ahead and make a new one. We've got the replacement material on our rollers there, and we're going to heat straighten it. Now I'm not going to get into detail and explain or show you how I heat straighten. That is a viable asset to my business and to those that I've learned from. And you know, I do want it known that I do heat straighten, but I'm not going to show you how it's done. I can't jeopardize that asset. All right, so let's get on. We're going to get this in the shop. One note before I let you go on inside there. Your question might be, that's a brand new piece of material and you have to straighten it? Yes, maybe 1 out of 100 pieces of material that come in here I don't have to touch. New material goes through different processes, and you know, it goes through its QAs, and it's stored over here in this rack, and there's a lot of things where that material can develop a little run out. It's not to my tolerances here at Turn Right, and I put them in those tolerances by heat straightening them, and then I bring them into the shop, and then we start machining them. So we'll see you inside. I'm not going to promote any brands or anything else at this time. I do have to say that in the earlier days, Walter was the preference of coupling. Buck had a lot to learn about making couplings, and they stepped up to the plate, and for about 5-6 years now, Buck has been the choice. So anyway, we're going to use these. Now, of course, a brand new coupling, if we use it right, just like this, we've been coupling. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to polish the bore. Right now you can feel that they put a finish on here, but the bore itself is rough. It's not real smooth. I'm going to make sure that a key fits in here smoothly, so I got a little bit of work to do there. Reason why we're replacing the coupling, the old couplings here, I mic'd up this one here, and it was 7/1000 oversized. It was rattling on there pretty good. And I'll show you a close-up of the key here. Okay, I wanted to kind of reenact all this damage on this key here came about. I mean, this thing rock and roll big time. Obviously, with this contact here being worn and virtually no indication of roll up here, most of its life this thing rode off in that position. Okay, originally that's the location of the key here in the shaft, and here's the paint sticking up that lines up. That coupling was sitting right about there. Okay, now here's the damage where it was riding most of its time. Okay, so we were hanging off about 1.5 inches. Now at one time, this shaft slid forward and was pushing against the transmission bolt, holding the transmission coupling on. It's amazing the thing didn't just go poof. Okay, normally on a coupling, this face and this register bottom is usually flush with each other. On twin disc and a few other couplings, fit-ups to the transmission, the transmission has a bolt in the middle of the transmission itself holding that coupling on that protrude into this area. It's common, but it's not uncommon that it's overlooked. So if you have a problem with your face mating up, this may be one of the reasons why. We'll go ahead, we're going to bring this coupling out a little bit and give a little bit more clearance in here so that when he puts this shaft in, he will not have this problem. we've massaged our fit, got the key tapped in. Coupling goes all the way on, minus about 3/4 of an inch. Light tap with a mallet. Alright, we're lining up our dimple. Alright, now down here we gave ourselves 200 thousandths. We're recessing that shaft in. Standard clearance needed on a twin disc is about 3/16 of an inch. Well, we gave it just a little bit more than that. We believe the imprint that was on that shaft is because that coupling was so loose that the shaft was sliding in the coupling and pounding that impression on the face. Alright, just as we showed in the previous video. Very important to make sure that we're not going to have interference there. Like I said, the head of the bolt holding the transmission can cause interference, and also not relieving this sharp corner right here. The face, we only took 3/1000ths off of there, and she's nice and clean. She wasn't running out that far. I got a straight shaft, brand new coupling. They usually don't, but now we're guaranteed 100% true running shaft. Alright, we're going to set this shaft aside, and we'll do polish and finish up the shaft when we have the new one we're going to make done. We're going to get on with that.